All right, we'll move on to unfinished business, vendors in the city parks. And I think at this time I'd like Robin to say, I know we left it last month with asking to view that contract, and I just wanted Robin to kind of respond on that, what their board came up with.
Sure. Where we're at is I met with all of the park board members individually, except for you, Craig. Congratulations. We can certainly get together if you have interest. And talked about that we received legal advice to not have our private contracts reviewed. And so in discussions with all of you, I let you know that our intentions were the same as they would have been if people had come to us first, which is to contact our concessions vendor. And after the April 1st date passed, where everyone from last year had the opportunity to re-sign with him and find out what he required for accepting new vendors into the event. And so we did that. I provided a letter to the vendors that I were aware of that had an interest. At this point, I haven't received anything to forward on to Dean, but we'll continue to accept those until he has a full group. And I think I provided each of you with a copy of that letter.
Troy,
You received that letter, correct?
Yeah, I just got one 3 days ago. I'm actually trying, you gotta show a picture of it, you gotta tell what events you were in. I'm actually in the process of doing that, but I guess my question is, I know it's been much easier. I mean, is there room for, it sounds like we got interest for 3 more vendors, maybe 4. I mean, I'm in the process of filling that out, but I did just get it 3 days ago. And,
Okay, it was mailed April 4th, so I don't.
I got it 3 days ago. I think it was would have been Friday. I got it last Friday, so I don't know what date it was mailed, but I got it 3 days ago. But I got it. I'm glad that I got it because that shows there's interest. But I guess back to, I asked this last time, I'll have to direct it up here. My question would be, I asked this last time, would there be room for just 3 more vendors? I mean, does this guy have so many vendors coming? You know, because I'm filling out the paperwork. At least I know I am, and I know the other person's here. She's going to fill it out, but I hope we'd be accepted because I've taken the time to do this, so I hope there would be opportunity. And that's where I'm at. And I'd like to thank you for it. I did get a letter. That shows they're out there. At least I got the letter, you know, but I'll send the stuff in that they ask, and I guess we have to take it from there.
Now, what's his name? Dean has space?
No, he said if they send in their references and their menu and a photo of their stand, then he'll look at the menu and see if that conflicts. He doesn't want to have, he wants everybody that participates to make money. So he doesn't want a whole bunch of people selling the same thing. And so everybody that's already in or returning has let him know what their intent is to
Okay, well then my next question is
offer.
if he already has a group that's already submitted their information, what are they selling? I mean, I guess my question is I'll pick on each one, I guess.
I'm thinking the same way you.
I don't want, if they do Euros, and he's already set with Euros, and that's what he was gonna do, then why is he even gonna waste his time submitting anything if he's gonna get?
I'll take it further, and the
You know what I'm
community
saying?
knows, I'm thinking the same way you are. I'm thinking tenderloins. I think the community knows I'm known for tenderloins. I would have liked, that'd been easy, right? I don't want to fill all this out, you know, if they need tenderloins, I'd love to provide that service, and that'd be much easier. If he's already got 2 people doing tenderloins, it's not even worth me fill an
Is there any
application
way to
out.
find that out, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah,
can call him and say, it's tenderloins, it's hot dogs, it's this, and he can give me a thumbs up or thumbs down.
Right.
You know,
I mean, I wanna, if they're gonna go through the effort, I'd like to think that they have a
A
really
chance
good
of doing
chance
it.
of getting in there, but I don't want them to waste their time
Filling out this application.
and going through all this effort. They got businesses to run, then I guess that's what we're getting at.
well, just tenderloins, is that?
That's, yeah, just tenderloins and, that was it. I mean, that's my booth, tenderloins, that's all I make.
Okay. I'll call him, I'm out of town tomorrow, but I'll call him.
And I appreciate that. Thank you.
And if, you know, I haven't heard back from Vicki or,
No, you know, I'm not interested in really setting up down there if I have to go through this gentleman from out of town.
Okay.
And
okay.
that's just my theory, but I'm supporting these that do.
And I'm just doing it to show that there's local interest
Sure.
and local product. And plus, it's a good living. I've done it. And that's what scares me too. I only got 3 people to put down. I'm new at this. It came up because I lost money last year, big time. And so I had to think of different ideas. And this is why, you know, and I believe everything she said, there's never been a problem. There probably should have been. Downtown was great, but the year there was, I had to think of ideas to make money.
Sure.
And I did it 3 times last year. And there's money in it. There's money in it. And so
Sure.
that's what the whole thing about is, and you know, to keep it downtown, local, and just keep the money here. Like I said, I've done 3 events, so am I gonna be turned down? Because I only got 3 events, but yet I've been cooking 26 years.
I think it's
You know,
more.
26 years I've been cooking.
Can I say
Robin.
one? I think there's one more thing that I'd like to make sure, that I think I let all of you know, but, that I'd like known publicly, and that is that Dean has been working with somebody locally, and they have enough people to run all of the booths just from our local people, so that they don't need to bring in, you know, other than for the All-Star Catering booths, they'll only be bringing in just their cook. Everybody else is gonna be making money for their local organizations and nonprofits, because there's an individual from Mason City who has taken that on herself and got that all organized. So there'll be lots of familiar faces in the
And for
booths.
clarification on that, are you saying that there's gonna be a lot of vendors from Mason City that are
I'm
setting
saying
up?
there'll be a lot of workers
Workers.
from Mason City.
Okay.
I
And,
guess-
and those are go to nonprofit organizations, right? The money that they make.
Yeah, whether it's Kiwanis or whoever.
Right, right.
Okay.
I guess my big concern is I just want to make sure that these folks have a very fair shot at getting in there. And that's why, you know, I want to make sure, you know, there's that communication, you started this communication, I want to make sure that there's follow through.
Yep, as long as they let me know their menu items, I'll just make a phone call, and if he's already got that covered, we'll, you know, see if we can get.
You know
a
what I told you, I
placeholder
only
for
got
next
three references and stuff. I can you work this and see if you can get one more, and I mean, even if there's 2 more, I mean, is that gonna be a hinge on it? I mean, just personally asking you?
I have no idea.
Well, I like what I'm getting a chance. I like that.
So that's my whole goal, is I want you guys to
Right.
get a fair shake, that's what I want.
Right.
You know, for this year, I mean, moving forward, we gotta rethink this thing at some point here, this is, you know, I think you're agreeable to that, we're agreeable to this, but I want, at least for this year, we're running out of time, we gotta get you guys a fair shake soon.
Right.
That's what we need.
Max.
Well,
you
quite
had-
frankly, I brought it to your attention, and it's all convoluted now. You've lost your way. And one of the reasons is you lost your way is you met one-on-one with the Chamber of Commerce, and the letters were sent out here in the last couple of days. You know, that's just typical stuff. I don't blame Rob Anderson for doing that, but I followed up on what I was gonna do. And that's that, I put it on the agenda a month ago to talk about the local vendors not being able to get down to the park. What we were told then is that there was a contract between you, the park board, and the program. There is no contract between you. You run the parks. Mr. Homey, whatever his name is, or the chamber doesn't have anything to do with saying who can go in the city parks. You do. I was just in a meeting yesterday, was it with you, Brent, and a vendor in Mason City?
Yes.
That the wording, we looked up the wording about the use on and in, and you're gonna be working out a thing there, and you're gonna be rewriting those rules. So there's a lot more to this than that. Now, you've been spoon-fed. Now, here's what I'm gonna tell you. Number one, I did what I said I was gonna do at the last meeting, and I was gonna follow up on the Globe Gazette article in 2006 when the contract was changed. And we were told at that last meeting that the reason the contract was changed is because there was not a lack of vendors locally. Couldn't fill it out, couldn't get enough vendors to go down to East Park. Well, the article doesn't mention any of that whatsoever. Doesn't talk about lack of vendors at all. Actually, the article's about a vendor who is not gonna be part of the program with his Euros, who was there over 16 years at the band festival from Rochester. By the way, I got an email, so the other council members here this past week from a citizen about wishing that vendor was back down there with their favorite Euro. No, actually, it says here the move was a good deal financially for the chamber. Well, that's why I was here last month. I could care less about the chamber's financials. What I was caring about is what I heard from you, from those two other vendors, that they weren't having any opportunity of getting in down to the park. It's not their call, their contract. We knew no one's going to see that contract because it didn't exist between you and the city and the chamber. It's your call. If you want to let some vendors in, they don't have to go through there at all. Please, understand your charge and the oath of office that you took. This is for the taxpayers of Mason City. That's what we're doing here. The economy's so bad that even Mr. Lockwood here started a hot dog shop on the streets, and he's having some issues we're working through. That's what people are doing now to make ends meet. That's what it was here for a month ago. I came here to say, look, we're having some issues. We need to stand by our own local vendors and stuff. Now, I did read in here where they did mention, and it brings up a good point today. I'll never get this information either, but I'd certainly like to know who the nonprofit groups are that are benefiting from all these vendors down there, that all these workers are going to be working. I love nonprofit groups, we all do, but quite frankly, there's money being made here. There used to be a pool of money that was in what was called the Band Festival Fund, which now I believe goes into, and I'm not sure, but I'd like to know more about, the general fund of the Chamber of Commerce. Brent, you said back then, February 22nd, that you were going to meet with the Band Festival Committee. Have you done that? To iron out the problems? To see what you can learn?
As far as which problem?
Brent, I have it here in an article from the Globe Gazette, that you said you were going to meet with the Band Festival group February 25th to get more idea about what's going on with the Band Festival Committee and vendors and who can come and who can't. Did you follow up on that?
I talked to Robin.
What'd you find out? You were going to give us a report that said.
The contracts that she has, they made the decision not to provide the contract.
Right, and again, that contract is not with the city. Correct. So it doesn't pertain to us at all. You guys are in charge of the parks. That contract means nothing to the citizens of Mason City. That's between the chamber and the Band Fest Committee and the vendor, the guy from lacrosse. So obviously you have the final call. Troy Liebenhagen here should just simply ask you, can I come down there and be a vendor in East Park? And you have the authority to say, yeah, you can, go ahead. You have that authority. That guy can't sue you, you have no contract with him. That's what the threat was a month ago. So I hope you don't lose where we're at here. What we were doing here was trying to protect local people, keeping it as local as possible, and spending the money locally because the economy was bad. That's what I heard, that's what I put on the agenda, and now today, because you've all met individually over there, because letters have been sent out, you still have to prove three things. Nothing's changed. You still have to go through this guy here to tell you, and really you don't have to give anything, just say, you got Tenderloins there, you're out, because that's what he does. He brought a Euro guy in, and the guy that's been here for 16 years was thrown out of the process, and everybody loved his Euros. That's what I'm finding out. So you've actually got the call. Don't. Now we're back to square one where you're putting all the power over there where it shouldn't be, because you know what? The taxpayers in Mesa City, I don't know, what is it, Brent? $15,000 we contribute? We mow, we clean, we bring down, we block barricades off all over town. We do a lot of work. Public Works does a lot of work down there, maintenance, getting it ready, and the things we do afterwards and before. So I'm just saying, in the police overtime, we put a lot of paramedics are down there. We keep them down there on site all the time. We're doing a lot of things. So I'm just saying, you're kind of losing your mission. And I also understand this, that this isn't, in the scheme of things, it's been said to me, this isn't really a big deal. Well, it is a big deal if you didn't make much money last year, if you've invested. And you know
Can I
what?
say just one thing?
Sure, go ahead.
I got invited to an event in Clear Lake. I just heard about this. Butcher Steakhouse, she's the one that told me about this. But it's called Taste of North Iowa in Clear Lake. Her mother-in-law's been in it twice, and she's grossed $4,800 and $5,500. That's why that's so big. But here's the biggest thing. And think if I make $5,000 out there, we got to pay our taxes on that. And think, where am I going to spend that $5,000? Back here in Mason City at the steakhouse, going here with that's the big. So that's huge. It's huge. And there's 5-6 other people in town that are thinking that way. Where are they going to spend the money? I mean, so do the math. Because my whole summer is planned. Because I'm I'm gonna be getting a facade grant for my Suzy Q, so I had to go out and plan and be proactive and find this stuff. So if I'm just one, I know Butcher Steakhouse is doing good, there's two of them right there. Just between us two, if we go out and we work, there's a lot of money that we're gonna bring back, and I see one more to, take that times 5. And that's the big issue of how many thousands that can be spent right back here.
And Troy, and I understand that, and I understand what Max is saying, I understand what you're saying, and there's no doubt that there is an issue here, okay? Now, whether there's a contract with the chamber and them people, or whether there isn't, the chamber says there is, okay? I, as a elected official, have consulted with our city attorney, and he says it's not a matter of what you have in writing for the concessions, it's how the park board has perceived this in the past. And anytime anybody has come to us with a vending issue, since this has been put in place, we have told them they have to go through the chamber and go through the application process with this company until that contract expires. And the recommendation of the city attorney is, says, that since you've acted that way at park board meetings, and I believe I've remembered some park board meetings to where we have referred people and said, hey, we have the facility request allowing the Chamber of Commerce to have the park for that event, and then they handle all the vending and everything for the band festival, and that's been the perceived agreement. So for us to go against that and start allowing people to vend down in that park opens us up for a possible lawsuit there. And personally, as far as from my position as a park board member, just feel that I don't want to go there this year. I think that we need to critique our whole facility request process and make it more and more detailed from here on out. But as far as, I'm not an attorney. I don't know if they have a contract with that company or not. If they do, and we start this process, we're kind of on dangerous ground there. And it's not something I'm comfortable with at this time. So I appreciate the fact that Robin is going to work with you, you're willing to work with Robin. Any of the vendors can go to Robin at any time, and if they want me to go with them, I will go with them. And I will help make the contact with that as far as my power extends. So at least we can get this taken care of, get through the next couple of seasons, and then really work hard between now and then as to how we want to proceed once this whole contract thing is done.
Well, I would go one step further, Ray, and say, I don't care if there's 2 years or 4 years or 5 years left, this would be the time for the park board to put an official notice in the paper that any contracts written between the Chamber of Commerce and this person up there will be null and void for the 2012 season. Put it on record, because you're learning things as we go. You know, I appreciate the idle threat here of being sued by everybody, but I don't think that would happen at all. You know, I think you could give it a year shot right now and say, look, next year things are going to be different. We're just going to have at it. Who cares if there's 5 tenderloins? This guy's tenderloin's been judged the second best tenderloin in the country. Let people figure that out. Let the commerce do its business and keep the chamber out of
And that is something we are working at. But for this year and this season, there isn't a whole lot we're going to be doing. We're going to look at this whole facility request thing, and I believe Brian is working on revising that document to make it a lot more.
The first draft's 8 single pages, so just so you know.
So, and that's where we're going to go. That's where I perceive we should go with it.
No, I don't know. I mean, the bottom line is I agree that this system isn't working. You know, something's got to change, but right now, when's Band Festival? We got
Memorial Day
We got
weekend.
Memorial Day weekend. What are we gonna do? Now, if we just say, yeah, you know, you guys go ahead and set up down there, you know, anywhere else in the park, go ahead and do that. What are the repercussions? I don't know. I'm not an attorney. I don't know. Tom Meyer says something, I guess I would say, do we need an opinion from Tom?
I've never seen that opinion. It's amazing
Well,
that
no,
you didn't get back to us on your meeting on February 22nd that you said you'd meet with them and give us a full report. I haven't heard anything about Tom Meyer giving this thing. He knew this meeting was on the agenda tonight. You know what? Again, we had that conversation an hour ago about communication and some professionalism.
I mean, I'd
appreciate
like to
where
see
you're
an
at.
opinion
You know what,
from
Robin,
Tom.
maybe someday you can have me over and you can explain to me how you operate your program. Because I certainly
I
don't
think you
know
can
it.
make your comments to the chair and not to Rob.
I got 5 minutes. Okay?
Sure, go for it. What's your name?
First off, I'm new with this, okay? I heard you talking about your liability, suing who? Is that, they're suing, I'm suing my neighbor because they're selling pork tenderloins, or what are you talking about? Or liability insurance? Who's suing?
What we're talking about is right now, the chamber has a contract with this gentleman from Wisconsin.
Well, I just want to understand who's suing who.
Well,
Nobody yet.
Okay, but when you said the liability, because I have insurance, okay?
The city has insurance.
Huh?
Everybody has insurance.
Okay.
That's what you have insurance for.
Well, no one required me to have insurance.
okay,
There's no requirement for me to have
you're
insurance.
doing it to protect yourself.
Yeah.
I'm doing it to protect myself. And as you may know, I am the hot dog vendor. And what I would like to be known as is the city's vending company. I'm not going for special events. I'm gonna be there every day. Monday to Thursday on my location now, and I got a location on Friday. And I haven't done a lot of advertising, but I am appealing to the Park and Rec. I want their permission to be in the parks. I'm not gonna step on nobody's toes. I don't want special events. I wanna go to Big Blue. That's what I want. And the lady that was running the, some kind of festivity on Labor Day, you know, I gave her my name. I should be able to be part of that if she wants me as a vendor. Because, like I said, I want to be known as, there is no other city vendor, okay, that runs Monday through Friday in Mason City. Everyone else is special events. Like I said, I want Park and Rec's blessing. Brian here told me that I need to submit something in writing, and he's been very helpful and kind. I will do that. And I don't know what you want in that writing, maybe my intentions, maybe that would work, I don't know. But it'd be a repeat of what I'm saying right now. I'm not gonna step on nobody's toes. I'm not gonna go when the Lutheran Church rents the band shell. I'm not gonna park my carcass over there. I don't wanna deal with 150 people from the Lutheran Church. I got 1,500 or 15,000 people that drive by that I can make a lot better money there than worry about selling 5 hot dogs to somebody in the park. Now, if someone is in the park renting your band shell, playing music, and there is no vendors, I may be there. That's why I want. But for the most part, East Parks, I'm not interested. Maybe, but I doubt it. The first and foremost is Big Blue. It's a different park other than that name. We all know it, the Big Blue. And that's my main interest. And if it is City Park part of your jurisdiction,
Yes,
it's still a park, so it's Park and Rec,
yes.
even though it's called City Park.
Any designated city park is
Well,
our jurisdiction. Yes.
I've talked with Brent, and there's another vendor that may or may not be in Central Park or City Park. I'm not interested really being in that park either. But you know, everyone knows Thursday night you have something going on uptown and music playing. I've talked with Brent. I have a city license. There's plenty of room uptown when they finish it. You know, I don't have to be in the park. If J Lala is in the park, so be it. I've asked for permission to be in the parking lot adjacent across the street. I don't really care. You know, they're gonna know where I'm at, irregardless as where I am, but I need to be within a half a mile.
Sure.
You know, but and that is after 5 p.m. And well, you know, everybody knows that. You know, that the bands are playing at 5 p.m. I don't know what time it starts, but back to East Park. You know, no, I'm not interested in being a special event. I'll make just as much out on the street.
What are you asking for?
I'm sorry?
What are you, what are you asking for?
Well, I'm asking for, well, Brian said it, I need to give you a written,
I just think generally, you know, you've approached the board today. I just say if you came and just said, you know, here's kind of the plan of what I'd like to do.
Right.
I mean, as long as you're licensed and everything, your products are good, you meet all the health issues, I mean, we're gonna support you.
I have a health,
We're gonna support you.
Yeah.
So I go ahead and keep working with Brian and get that
well, he said I
information.
should just submit my intentions.
Brian,
I'll work with you. You want the who, what, when, where, why.
Right.
And I can help you with that, sir.
But you're not interested in East Park.
But you're not interested in BAMFest, you're not interested in Barbecue Bash.
You're gonna, and I saw you today, you were across from Come and Go on 122. I think. you were
Exactly.
on 122.
Yeah.
I saw
Exactly.
you there, so.
I can,
and
you
that
know,
has, I mean, that's not even, that doesn't have.
now
No, I
BAMFest,
know.
for instance, just so you know, I have many locations, private property, along State Street,
Sure, that's fine.
that I may be on any one of them. But I still want your blessing to be in the park, you know, because there could be, well, there has been, I could be bored on a Sunday and it could be rainy and somebody could be playing in the park. I don't know. And I just want permission, to, you know, if I have your blessing, then I say,
Well-
Jim and Joe are playing guitars in the park. They've rented the band shell. It's happened in the past, you know that. I'm just hypothetically speaking on
And,
I think
games.
the thing
we're
is-
just saying, is just get together with Brian, write up what you wanna
Yeah,
do and what you're asking for,
Make
and
sure
then
that
they'll bring it to the
have
board.
met all the requirements. that
and
the
that
city
will
has.
cover what is the name of it? What's the actual?
It's Lester
Lester Milligan Park,
Okay. But,
so.
you know, I'm interested in that part.
That's fine.
I'm not interested in going to your,
Okay.
your ball games where it's in a park. I'm not interested in that. There's 150 people there, or, I'm not interested in 150 people.
No, it's Roy, the skate park area,
Okay.
but this.
Let's say, let's,
Yeah,
I've
I'll do it.
seen you, you know, and I need to stop by.
Yeah.
All right,
But
thank
getting
you.
back to this.
Well, Brian, I'm gonna give Brian my intention letter, or my appeal, that I wish that you'd give me permission to be in the park.
Okay, thank you.
I still got a minute and a half left. Anyway, that's contrary to what the conversation I had with Brent Trout the other day about use. Are you literally saying that he can go down to East Park and stop his vendor and he can sell hot dogs down there?
Well.
And he can go to Lester Milligan too?
With approval of the park board.
Yeah.
Well, so does he have to have the approval each time he does that, or it's one time?
No, I mean, we've had mobile people
An
come in
annual-
before,
an
and as
annual
long as,
thing.
we always say, as
But what
long
we
as
heard
they're
the other day
licensed.
from Brent
and-
Trout is that he'd get back to him on Friday with whether he could use public property or not. And two, we would rewrite the ordinance probably over the next 3 months. That's what
Well,
heard
I
from
got
you.
something for you
Now.
and Brent.
You need to let him.
Yeah, you need to let.
Oh,
Max
I'm sorry.
finish.
So anyway, my other question is gonna be this. You know, the last meeting that we were here, all I was asking is to do something for the citizens of Mason City. But the boogeyman raised their head. And what they said was, we have a contract. And if we don't abide by that, there could be certain litigation. That's been put out in the air, so guess
Yeah.
what? That wins out again now. That's what we do to ourselves in Mason City. That wins out every time. So I would hope that you get rid of that contract as soon as you can instead of
And I
waiting
believe
it out.
that's what we've
I
already
think a notice,
stated.
I think a public notice would
Well,
probably
Max,
help.
and I think we need, I want to get a written decision from Tom Meyer, opinion. I mean, he's our
Well, I
city
thought you had
attorney.
that. Ray just made it.
I have,
reference.
he
He
just told
talked
me
to
on
him.
the
I
phone.
mean, I think we
I
all
will
need to see it. I'm not an
submit
attorney.
and have him do a
It's not in
written.
written, it's not.
No, it's not in
I would
writing,
like
it
to
was a
see from
verbal
our city
discussion I
attorney
had.
that we all,
Could we ask that guy right now? Because I'll ask too. I think we should see that written
is that something else
response.
with Brent?
Because it's gonna impact this gentleman too.
Well, absolutely. And again.
What are you talking about? You need permission every
Sir.
single time?
That's what I'm
Sir.
trying to clarify for you.
No, we gotta
Trying
stay.
to clarify that.
Yeah, I
for you.
caught
Sir,
drifted. Yes.
just your comments to the chair, please. We don't want people bantering back and forth. It just doesn't.
Exactly. No,
But that's fine.
I'm new and
No, that's fine.
ignorant. That's fine.
But I think that's what we need, Max. So I want to see something from we're all paying our city attorney. Let's get something from this guy.
Well, too.
So,
Well, that's an understatement.
and that'll clear up hopefully some issues that we have standing out here. But let's get back to your folks and this issue we have. I mean, Memorial Weekend is right around the corner here.
Right.
And I guess what I'm saying is, for now, is can we see where this goes? Troy, in your group?
You know what, I'm happy, and here's why. Because even if there's, as in some litigations, whatever, I'm not even worried about, but here's the number one thing why I did all this. Because I was just upset when I heard our chamber, and I talked to this individual, we went through this, we've made progress, so at least the park board knows. Now, so I don't know where this is gonna go, but there's progress, because now hopefully we go take it a step further, we find out from attorney, which is either here or there, because I think I'm gonna get in, I really do. I think when Robin calls him and asks about Tenderloin, common sense says they're gonna let a vendor in to keep the peace. But second thing, we went even further. We've got a problem that's never been done, and we've taken a step further, we're finding out, I think he's in the right track. You guys do have total control. I'm new to all this too, but I think he's right, because look, you just almost gave a guy permission right now to go, but this is good, this is progress. And right, you would never want to do, because the thing, if he wasn't, this ain't worth me getting Tenderloins to be sued, and I don't think they would sue, but.
Right. And that's the big 1,000-pound elephant in the room here, is this contract.
That's right,
thing.
I mean.
You know, and if this thing was not there, this would be a no-brainer.
Right.
You know, you guys, we'd say, heck yeah, you guys are great, we ate your food, get down there. But we gotta, I need to understand this thing.
How long is left on this contract? I mean, one more year?
But it's,
Two.
but it's.
2 years left?
This
But
and
it's
next.
important to know too, that, you know what, it's good business to have contracts. And we
We
have
can do
contracts for the porta potties, and we have contracts with all the bands, and we have contracts with the carnival.
I understand
And
that.
of course we do.
I understand that, Robin. I certainly understand that.
I understand,
The
yeah.
minute you don't have contracts, you have a void.
Absolutely, and the thing is, I understand that your group cannot be left hanging. You need to solidify pieces like porta potties and all that so you can run an event. I understand that. But I'm just trying to find a way temporarily to get these two parties together, so at least we have a chance of getting some folks to make some money, and you guys can still have a good event like you do.
Well,
That's
and
where
what
we're
I-
at right now. Now, moving forward, can we improve it? You darn right we can improve
Yeah.
it. And we have to look hard at how we can do that, but right now, this is the framework we have. You know, that's where I'm at. I need to get you guys together and hopefully get you down there selling something. That's the bottom line.
But people have to talk to me. I mean, I've heard Troy's in, Vicky's out, but,
Well.
since we sent the letter, nobody.
Can I just ask Robin a question? I mean, I'm supposed to address you, but did you ask him, did you even ask him if there was room just for 4 people? I mean, because I remember last time I left here, and this all would have been, because I think that's all there was is 4, and I, like I said, I know what I sell, and did you ask him that? I mean, just not being mean or nothing, but did you ask him, hey, we got 4 people, can we just let these?
Well, I told him we had 3 because that was all, and he said, show me their menus, and if they're not conflicting with, ones that we already have, and, that we know they're legitimate and that they have a nice looking stand. And so I said, I'll ask them for it, they can get it to me, and,
What's nice, I got a trailer that, my tenderloins are good, but I got a trailer that's $600. I painted it, put Suzy Q,
It'll be fine.
and that's what,
I see. It's
Can
all
I
good.
ask her, well, I'm gonna say stupid question, no question is stupid. Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Obviously you want all the vendors in one spot.
That question goes to the chamber.
Yeah, they set it up.
That's Zadie there.
And this is for, I think, this is for one event, sir. This is like,
Yeah, I
this is a band
understand.
festival.
It's a special
4-day special
Yeah, it's a
event.
special.
And you want all the vendors,
Yes.
Well, down in the park, yes, they
They
have
just set up in this
the area.
Well, we
they
have an
bend in the
area,
park.
we have the picnic tables
Right.
in one area, we have a vendor up by the car show. I mean, we try to accommodate, the sub-events that we have, but I mean, I certainly hope, this is just Band Festival. Are we gonna go through this for barbecue bash and Civil War days and, Cannonball days and
Well, that's,
everything else?
This is why-
that's why we need, what Brian's doing, Robin, is we're revising
but I
this
mean,
facilities
my question,
request.
I guess my question is it a must that they have to all be
You know what, it's not my expertise.
Yeah,
I don't
and that
know
really
how
doesn't
they
have anything to
set
do with
it
the
up.
issue that we're talking about right
Right.
now.
Well, I
Good question,
understand
because
that. I understand
certainly
you're talking about, you got a
Can I
contract.
ask a question?
I had a stupid question.
But
May I
Yes.
ask? Vicki Warner from Mason City, and I was just wondering, he has those stands set up all over the park. Do they all serve the same food, or is there different food in it? That's what I was wondering.
No, they don't all serve the same thing.
They're not, they have different things with their stand? Okay, that was my question.
So I guess what I would say is, you know, Troy, let's take this, the next step.
Right, I'll call you Thursday, Robin.
Let's see if we can get something to happen here to get by this year, and we need to, I think, we need to work together. I'd like to see something from Tom Meyer for the benefit of not only the park board, but I think council needs to know what's going on. I'd like to know legally, where are we at? Are our hands tied, what? You know, we gotta move forward. This new facilities request thing's a great deal, but that's my opinion, is let's keep this thing moving forward, because we got less than 2 months to get this, something done.
I'll be really brief, because I've been in the band festival since I was a little kid in the band. And I go to the band festival almost every year. And a whole lot of my friends and a whole lot of people that I know, because I grew up on a farm away from Mason City here, they all come. I pretty much can say without a doubt that 99% of all of them want to have as many people from Mason City, because we come to this because it's a Mason City Band Festival. Now, nothing against contracts or anything, but I choose where I eat. If it's Mason City, I always go get my pizza because it's right. And there's a whole lot of us that do that. And we really we figured it was all Mason City. So, just for that input, I've got to leave. I'm happy to come, but in the
Thank you.
future, keep in mind, keep
Thank
it
you.
in Mason City.
Thank you.
Yep.
Moving on with this.
Okay, so that, are we okay with that for now, and then we'll keep moving, Max, on some of those other issues with Tom, and, I mean, I just want to know where we stand.
Yep. I look forward to that information as
So are
well.
we
Yep.
Craig,
I
do you have
mean-
any other
good?
input?
We're gonna get a thing from Tom Meyer here, we're gonna meet with you, right?
Right. I mean, he's got to give us an opinion of where do we stand, what is our exposure,
Now, what is our, I don't think we have any
Right.
exposure.
if any, but I want to know. But
Right.
for now, Robin Chamber, continue to work with Troy and the other vendors that he's coordinating, and do what we can to get these spots open for those folks. That's all we can do.
What I
That
told
sound
you
all right
I
for
did.
now?
Yeah, it does.
And then if we need to, we can continue talking about this moving forward, because we gotta talk about it.
Thanks, Troy. Thanks, Max.
Thanks.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.